Hi, FlossTube. Remember me? I'm Barb with Lost and Floss. This is episode number 75. Woohoo! And today is Saturday, May, I have it written down, 7th. Kind of lose track of days now that I'm retired. It's kind of amazing how the months just fly by because you just don't have those Sunday night scaries to worry you anymore. Not that I really ever did my last years, but that's getting off track already. This is a channel primarily about cross stitch. I'll maybe show a few other things, one of which I just remembered I forgot to bring in here. And I hope you stay tuned and watch today because I have some summer patriotic giveaways that I think maybe you'll be interested in. I have more haul than I care to admit. Was able to squeeze a very quick trip to Stitchville in when we visited our son last month, and I had a gift certificate to 123 Stitch, and so I did some online ordering. But anyways, we'll get into that more as time goes on, and I just would like to say welcome and thank you for coming back and watching, and I think I have lots of fun things to show you today. It's been a while since I did more of a regular format of a video. The last one was kind of weird. It was like I just wanted to try to get in touch with winners, and so just kind of did a video where you didn't even see me, but you just saw my projects. So in April, I was working full force on mini Easter type stitches. I will show you some of my finishes, and I've got just a bunch of things that I finished, and I really think you'll enjoy seeing them. So anyways, yeah, so first off, I'm going to show some stitchy kindness. I'll insert a picture at the end, but our local stitch group was finally able to get back together, and it was so much fun. It did my heart good to be able to, there were a couple of stitchers that I had never met, and so well, maybe just one was able to come. But just seeing the others in person, oh, nothing like it. And so I will insert a picture at the end. We have started meeting at a local library. Thank you, Vicki, for arranging that because that really is helpful. And yeah, it was wonderful to see projects. I came home with a bunch of charts courtesy of Colette. Thank you, Colette. Some of which are going to be giveaways, so that's pretty exciting. You guys are going to love what she stitches. So we'll probably be doing those, I don't know if it'll be next video, but in the next couple. But a new member to our group, Linda, came with bags for each of us. They were tied like this with ribbon. And Linda, this was the first time we had, she had been on Zoom calls with us, so I feel like we had already kind of known her, but it turned out she had worked at the same place I worked. So on my retirement video, she commented, she's like, oh, I see where you work. It was kind of funny. So anyway, she made these beautiful gifts. This is like a little thread organizer keeper thing, a spot for your needles, and I love the snap. I haven't used it yet because I was trying to keep it nice to show you guys. And then she made each one of us a strawberry and stitched our initial. Just the cutest, and I was just like astounded because I mean what a thoughtful entrance into the group. I'm like, you're gonna make the rest of us look bad. So, yeah, so it was great inspiration. There's just like nothing like being with people who have the same creative desires and you know, that feed on your own creativity in person. It just, there's nothing like it. So that was like probably the highlight of the month. So I think I am putting the Stitchville haul at the end, but I'll maybe show you what I got from 123 Stitch. I have these gift cards that I was afraid were gonna, well, they were online gift certificates, but I didn't want to like lose track of them. I kept like almost deleting the emails, and finally I'm like, no, I'm just gonna sit down and get some fabric and a few charts that I found that I thought maybe I'd want to stitch. Floss away bags. I have realized I have a tendency to have my threads get all over the place, and if I put each color in one of these bags on a ring, I think that's really what works best for me. So never can have too many of those. And then these fabrics are all 36 count. This is a Weeks Aztec Red. Picture this plus Bramble. I just stitched something on Bramble and I really like it. It has really pretty, it's a neutral, but you know, some mottling in it that gives it nice, a little excitement to it. This one is Legacy. Another picture this plus. And then the final one I got was just a little piece of colored cotton spiced honey. It is the first really, really nice Saturday we've had this spring. I think we came back from Florida and the weather just was awful for a month. It just was cold and lots of rain, which was good because we were down a bit with precipitation from the winter. And so I think we've made up for it now, but I don't know how you people do it with gloomy days all the time, because it's not as bad for me now that I'm retired, but because if the sun's out for an hour, I can get outside and do something. But the temperatures just were cold. Like I don't think I wore any of my summer clothes since I got back from Florida. So it's nice to see the sun out. I took a nice long hike with friends this morning, and I set on my agenda. In fact, I put a post on Instagram. One, I was having coffee, which then allowed me to get into my fourth thing, which was to work on a stand-up finish. So while I was having coffee before my walk, I worked on that. And then two was the walk with friends. So a group I've been walking with for years, we used to call ourselves SAS. And that stood for Saturdays Are Sacred. And you had to have a really good excuse if you didn't show up, because that was when we were all working, and you know, it was really our only time to connect during the week. And so we would get out and get some exercise and then maybe have coffee afterwards. I probably mentioned the group before, but so now that people are retired, it seems like harder to get people together on a Saturday because we can walk at times during the week. So it was a small group this morning, but we took the long hike, and it was the perfect day to be out there. But the point I'm trying to get at is you might hear all sorts of like neighborhood noises. I cut our grass yesterday, but there's a lot of people who are cutting theirs for the probably the first time. And the grass is green, it's growing, the daffodils are blooming. I've managed to keep deer from eating maybe half my tulips, so it's a constant battle. But yeah, I think maybe I'll see some bloom. But I went out and picked some daffodils today, as you can see in the vase. I love the springtime flowers, but oh my gosh, how did I get on that from showing fabric? I don't know. So and then a couple of the charts that I got. Roveris. This one is, oh, that sounded like singing. I don't know. What the heck is this called? Summer? I think it's called Summer. Hopefully I won't get it too bad a glare. I seem to be. And then I got Kay's Frames and Design. The Simple America, just kind of rustic, but I saw somebody do this and I thought, oh, I like that. It looks like it would be mindless stitching. These all have a patriotic theme. Then I have these 3 stars. I stitched one of the pieces last year that I don't have in the star yet, but I want to do 2 other small circular finishes. And I thought this one might work if I will stitch her. I don't know if I can get the whole thing in that size. For sure the flag, and I'm going to make her not monotone, but I'm going to make her patriotic colors. So I'll switch that out a little bit. I think it'll be cute. And then Manny did Donna. Oh, original designs by, well, I'm not going to try saying that. You can read it on the chart when I show you. Flag of Liberty pillow. Really cute. And it looks pretty simple. And then we have Country Spirits Collection by Homespun Elegance. And this is another one I thought perhaps would work on that circle. And then, and we can talk about this now, Prairie Schooler. So as I've done in the past, I bought the year's chart. Aren't they cute with the penguins? I don't know if I'll do, are those light bulbs? I think they're supposed to be light bulbs. I'm not sure if that color is what I want. Maybe I will do the old traditional, you know how they had the strings with red and green and yellow, white, the vintagey colors. And also I did, trying to think what that was on. Last year I stitched like a light bulb shape that I really liked on one of my projects, and so I might switch that up a little bit. But anyways, the fun part is for the previous 2 years I've done this, I bought 2, and so somebody can join me in stitching this. So if you would like to be considered, please be 18, be a subscriber, like the video, and comment below, and use the word Arctic, A-R-C-T-I-C. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't spell it out, but I just want people to make sure that they spell it right. Not that I'm the grammar police. But I used to do a lot of proofing on our website for my job, and so not that I ever don't make mistakes myself, but it would be like I'd see a typo and it would just jump out at me, and so someone had an auto signature on their phone text that said, pardon my typos, because I'm from my iPhone or whatever, and typos, there was a typo in it. So that always made me chuckle every time I saw that. Well, anyways, I guess it's been a long time, and so I'm going to be off the board. But I tell you, I do have some good things to show you, so please stick with me, all right? So yeah, if you want to be the one, use Arctic. I don't care if you just write Arctic and, you know, or if you'd like to use it in a sentence, feel free to use it in a sentence. And the most important thing I want to mention is, please check, if you're going to enter, please check your responses. Like, I don't know, I guess I'm going to try, I'll maybe try to do a quick little video towards the end of the week so that you can get stitching on these. So if you enter, please check the comments on YouTube that you left and see if I've contacted you, because I've had so many people, not so many, but some people who they don't ever answer. And in fact, one of the charts today, it's a good one, and the person never responded with her address. So that's just something very important, and that goes for, you know, any floss tuber. So okay, and all right, so oh, and another quick thing I want to show you. This relates to, oh, that's a real nice view. This relates to one of my finishes that I love it, and I think you guys are gonna love it too. And it has to do with Leanne too, her tie-in, and it's a memorial piece I did. But as I was looking for buttons, I've got like, I don't know, 3 or 4 cans, you know, like this size. My mom's button can is even bigger. But I thought, you know, you're sorting through, I'm looking for like vintagey small ones, and I'm sorting through everything, and I'm like, this is just kind of foolish. So I got out my little sandwich or like snack bags, and I started, like, I pulled out the ones that I thought would look good for the project, and then I started sorting them into like these are bigger weight, these are smaller weight, these are bigger colored buttons, and these are smaller colored buttons. So next time I need something, oh, and these were just like weird ones, like, I don't know. Some are on shanks, like remember the toggle buttons? I mean, I don't know what I'd ever use that for, but you never know. Actually, it reminds me of something you use to like wind something on. So maybe there is a use for that, who knows? And then I also pulled out, there's a piece I want to stitch that's all monotone, I believe. And it has buttons as the accent. And when I was at Stitchville, I asked if they had the kit, the button kit, and it was like, I don't know, at least $50, maybe in the 60s. It was more than I wanted to spend on it. And so I started pulling out some buttons that were like a little bit more unique, and I thought, well, at least that'll give me some start on ones that I'll use on that project. So, but now is time for stitching. So May for me, and I will put this hashtag in my drop down rather than inserting it in the video. MayniaMyWay, all one word, Sal. And so what I do in May, rather than starting a bunch of new things, I take one project, and I think every year since I started this, it's been a stocking. I've stitched dimension gold stockings for my 4 grandchildren, and the 4th one is in progress. So I'm doing, this one's called Santa's Flight, and oh my gosh, that sky, it's killing me. So finally, I had the pattern up until like, I think right underneath his beard, and so I had been working and working and working on the sky and the reindeer, and I finally gave up, and I'm like, I gotta start on his arm or I'm gonna lose my mind. So I've gotten, I work at least an hour a day on him, and so far this month I've met that goal. But it's fun to see like another body part take shape. Instead of the sky, I still got work to do on it, and you know, it'll really take like the outlining stitch to make him look like something. But I need to have this done by Christmas. It's always my goal that the year the child is 3, they have their stocking. Now, it might not be for Saint Nick, but it will be for Christmas. Barring any unforeseen circumstances. All right, so let's put that there. This was one of the market release charts that I saw it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to have it. And I'm gonna put my Stitchville haul at the end, but I showed it in there, and it's by With Thy Needle and Thread, and it's the Rabbit and the Rose. And I know many others got sucked into this. I was stitching it like crazy before Easter, and then I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get done. But I, you know, usually if I don't get things done by the holiday, then I'll put them away for next year. But I love this one so much, I might just keep working on it. I think I'm using most of the called for colors. My pinks might be different, but give me a basket with a bow and I'm in. Oh, why is that? I don't know. And then this one I will put away for next year, but I had this from another year. It's Happy Easter, Easter Wreath by Tiny Modernist. And I thought it would be a quick little stitch, and I'm sure it is, but I started it too late. So I have Happy Ease, but this one I'm going to put away because I was saying it. Lori Textilist, I think I was watching her last night. And I mean, I was watching her. I think she's the one who said it, but that, I can't remember who it was, but that if you have a project that's already started, it's kind of nice the next year. You can pull it out like a couple months before the holiday, and you know, you work on it and then you're already partially done with it. So Stacy Nash Primitives, Gathering the Greens Sampler. This was a kit I bought the last time I was at the Country Sampler. And I love that gold house. I knew I had to have it. I'm not sure about that lady. I'm not really love people in samplers. I'll have to take a closer look at if I see someone has it finished, or yeah. But I finally got my grapevine so I could finish my ruff, and that little mess in the middle under the first window at the top, I think I'm off and counting, so I'm like, forget it. I'll leave my thread in there, and then as I go through with the gold, I'll figure out where I'm off and fix it then. But I kind of just did some sewing stitches so that when I get back to that point, I'll have thread on and I can just take it out and go to town. So no real plans on when this one will be done, but I do love it. And you know, after working on like the Christmas stockings where it's so many colors and so dense coverage, like once I get the house done on these samplers, it's like, it's really not as awful. Well, then you know, I wrote something about it. Seriously have a problem with series. And I'm trying to get the ones I started done, and I've been pretty good about not jumping on some new ones that I would love to have. But I've done I think I have 5 done. Prairie schooler months. I have January, I'm working on February. I have June, July, and I believe August done. Yep. And then I have December. I think I have 5 done. So I worked on March, and I love that with the daffodils. This is really one of the cutest ones. I don't know, they're all cute in their own way. So this is how far I got. And now I put it away. So I'll haul that out next year. And I've just decided I'm not starting any more of the months. And I think I'm missing 1 month's chart. I don't remember even which month it was. But I decided I'm not starting any others until I get 1 and maybe 2 of these ones I have started done. And this is May. This is cute with the barn. I had the barn done already. But I don't really love this saying. But then again, I don't know sheep, so maybe it has significance if you do. But I've got that tree done, and some of the wording, and the barn, and some of the sheep, a little bit of the ba language. So it's coming along. And I was watching Annie B's last night too. Because I've been away from watching as much FlossTube, and I was just doing some stitching. And anyways, like I've always said this too, like preschoolers, stitching is comfort stitching. It's mindless. It's, you know, blocks of color. It's not like a lot of hard counting, and it's just easy. This is another kit I bought, Bouquet 1813 by Samplers Not Forgotten. And I love this one. I say this all the time. You're probably getting sick of me saying, I loved it the second I saw it. But I've got a pretty good start on this. I think the colors are really, really pretty. So I hope to get this done before summer. And it's going pretty well. And I was laughing this week. We picked up mulch was on sale at Home Depot. And so we've learned if you go there, if you need a lot of mulch, which we do, if you go there with a trailer, they'll load a skid of it, which is 65 bags right on your trailer. So you can go there, and we got 75 bags. So the guys helped load the other 10 bags. And then my husband drove the truck around the yard and would stop at the various flower beds, and we'd just toss them down. And oh my gosh, so much easier. And like years ago, I would just have them leave it on the trailer, and then I would take the wheelbarrow and I mean, yeah, it's good exercise, but this is much, much quicker. So I worked on the mulch for a couple days and got it all done. So that's great. And I learned this tip. I don't know if I've maybe mentioned it before because I feel like I mulch every year. But if you use a pitchfork instead of a shovel, oh my gosh, it's like night and day. So get out your pitchforks. And oh, thank you to all the people who commented. Last video, I was like, is it Leela or Lila? And I learned it is Leela Studio. And this is to grow a garden. And I love this phrase. I decided to use a different color for the tomatoes, and it's tomato. So I'm hoping once I get everything else in, it's gonna look okay. But I've made pretty good progress, and so it looks like I have the writing, a sun, and a butterfly. So I think I should be getting this wrapped up pretty soon. But it's cute. I don't know if I'll frame it or make it into a pillow. I think it would be cute either way. But I like to garden. I'm not an expert by any means, but there's just something about, you know, putting something in the soil or from year to year having things come back, perennials. I don't know. I find it very satisfying. Now, these are the ones that I am loving. Souvenirs of Summer book. I'm working on, let's see, Summer Jubilee. And this is, oh, I hope I'm not getting a super ring. I think I am. Back. Peekaboo. Oh, man. Well, yeah, let's just say, hey, that's pretty good. Now let's go for, oh. So I love this piece. I think it's really, really pretty. I wouldn't think like a page would have that much shine on it, but it does. And I really can't remember what this fabric is. If somebody really wants to know, I'll dig it out. Or else when I started it last year, I probably mentioned. I'm using all the called for colors and I'm stitching 1/2. I was amazed. I hauled this out last night for the first time in a while to stitch on it. And last year when I was working on it, I was having so many problems with it. And I don't know, like this year, it's just like, okay, I'm stitching along. Like I don't find the fabric a problem, so I don't know, maybe I just had a mental block on it. All right. And then another blackbird design from this book, Sweet Land of Liberty, which I love almost everything in this book. I am almost done with this. I'm really, really close. I think I have a few of the little doodads. This is American Eagle. And I'm stitching this on the called for color, the Weeks Gray. But the house is Shaker white. My house looks pink. Now, Vicki, I know you're very excited about that, but I guess I would have liked my house not to be so pink, but there's too much of it to like tear out, although the thought did cross my mind, but I'm like, oh, you're almost done. Why not stitch something else instead? I think I substituted maybe olive for this because it was supposed to be this color and it just looks so gold. I'm like, I'd rather have something with a little bit more greenish cast to it. So I think I have those little doodads, and then I believe the eagle is holding the needle. And so I have the needle and like some of the threads to go, and then I'll be done. Yay! So that one definitely, I'm gonna frame it. I'm gonna take it down to the basement and see what I can come up with in the frame area. All right, then this is not a recent FFO, but I believe it was last year or 2 years ago. I saw Olivia Pumpkin Hollow Quilts stitch this and make this into a flat fold. And I was just like, you know how sometimes you go, ah! And it's just like this moment where you know you have to do it, and you have to do it just the same way. Well, I thought I bought the chart, and I bought a different one by accident. It was Spring Serenade, I think. And I was like, oh, bummer. And so then we were messaging, and she's like, oh, I'll send you the chart. And I'm like, oh. So the chart arrived, and I stitched it last year. And I just went back to look at her post on Instagram from like 2 years ago. And she did it as a stand-up following Vonna's tutorial. So last night I watched Vonna again. I know I have notes. This is the third stand-up I've done. So it's not like I'm paranoid about or worried about doing one, but it's been a while, so I wanted to make sure that I followed the steps correctly. But anyways, it's like a little finger puppet. Hello! Oh my gosh. Sorry. I don't know what it is today. But so let's try this again in a more mature fashion. This is Madame Cottontail. And so now I have to stuff her and make her bottom. But I use this. I think this was from my quilt that I never finished, in case you're wondering. And yeah, she is adorable. So I owe her existence to Olivia. So thank you again, Olivia. That was so sweet. So now we're at the point in the program that we're going to show some finishes. And yeah, let's start with this. Oh, I'm not like gracefully lunging at all, but that's how it goes. Oh, now I probably showed you my back of this, which I was going to put a board on, but I'm like, I can get another, I'll show it to you. It's not pretty, but I'll show it to you. So, it's got these clips on, but there's enough space between the edge of this and the clips that I can put another piece on here. And then, I mean, it won't have, oh yeah, it will have that. It'll look just the same. So, like, why would I just put a blank thing here? And even you can change, you know, take the clips out. I have, let's see. Oh, way back on the counter, I have that piece that has like metal clips. It's on a trivet, and it's so easy to get them in and out. Well, anyways, let's look at the piece itself. This is Brenda Gervais. I was trying to find the chart, but I can't. I mean, it's been around, so if you really want to know the name of it, let me know and I'll dig it up for you. It did cut off just a tiny little bit, but I still love it in this frame. So he's been sitting out having fun. All right, and then let's see what else. So, oh, and I forgot to get the chart, but Jelly Bean Jubilee by With Thy Needle and Thread. I did the series, and I so want to do the tomatoes. I love the Valentine's one. I love the winter one. The St. Patrick's Days are cute, but like we were gone this year in March, so I didn't even put that stuff out. So I need to be cognizant about, you know, having too much for that holiday. But so I started these last year. I think I had 3 stitched last year, and I got the rest of them done. And I even have a little bonus tulip that I don't have it finished yet, but I'm gonna finish it. This is the little guy with the paint can, and I just went with the called for colors, and so they're bright and wild. I might, now that I'm looking at it, I might put some buttons or something down there, but oops. You just never know what you're gonna find. Yeah, I think he's cute. So that one is going back in the basket. This one, oh my gosh, I stuffed this way too full, but I'm like, not taking it apart now. This is the little chickie. And I used some of my vintage yellow trim. I was gonna go with, I made some like soft aqua and white cording, but then I'm like, oh, this really draws out the chick. So, but overstuffed. Probably gonna burst at the seams. And then this one I just finished. I changed the colors, but hop, what does it say? Hop, hop, hippity, hop, hop. And I just used the bright colors, and I love this all over floral print. I thought it was great for that. Let's see, this tiny little one I didn't know what to do with because it's so small. So I had some baby rickrack, so I just put that on the sides and used the check on the back. But he's a sweet one. And then this one, I don't know, I cut this way too close, I think. I don't know why, I had enough room. But you know, it's one of those things later that you're like, oh, I should have left a little bit more of a border. So I put the bunny tail trim on it. I had something else, and then I'm like, oh, I really like this better. So I yanked it off and put that on. And then this one I think is really sweet. The little two chicks pulling a basket or a wagon of carrots. And I just used little mini rickrack. And this was fabric from another finish. I just used what I had. And then this jelly bean lady I really like too. I just used the hot pink swirl and some of this cording. So they weren't done for Easter, but they're done now. And this is why I cannot do series until I get caught up. Because I'm like, I just don't know. Oh, I'm like, what is this? I don't even know. All right, then, okay, let's talk about another Patriotic giveaway. Because when I, let's see, where's that stuff? When I ordered from 123, I accidentally put something in my cart twice. And so it's an opportunity to give one of you this chart as well. So if you would like to stitch this one, let's call it, it's called the American Home. Let's just use Home. So this one is Home. It's cute like that. That's a cute finish. So that's that one. And then we'll have one more that I'll talk about in just a bit. When Leanne and I went to StitchCon, we both bought this chart. They had this finish this way. Probably maybe still do. And it's the work basket of seasons, and it has the 4 seasons, but they had them on this, oh, I've got a stray string going here. Well, I'm not going to be able to hide it, and I'm not going to be able to clip it off right now. So you're just going to have to realize it's not perfect. So they had them on like these 4 things, so you could stand it up and just display one at a time, and then flip to the next. And we thought that was so cool. And so we both bought the chart and the pack. So I will, if I ever reach 8,000 subscribers, I'm going to include this one and the finish. I don't even know what, like, they're like little paper mache boards with the rings, so that you can stitch this too. But anyways, they come unpainted, so I just chose some muted colors. But this is spring. And I was trying to get away without making cording, and this cording is like that silky stuff that ravels. So at some point I'll probably pull those off and just make my own cording in a neutral color. But I was being lazy, and that's where it got me. So that's spring. And I'm trying to think if Leanne stitched spring. I think she might have. I stitched summer. And I believe I stitched autumn. No, she might have stitched autumn. I think I stitched winter. I don't know anymore. Doesn't really matter. It was just, you know, it's nice because it was a joint effort between us. And I like the fact that I can share something that was hers with you. So I think she would have liked that too. Let's see. Okay, now, oh, at the end, I know I've had people ask, but I always do. My mom had this cast iron lamb mold that you make a pound cake in the shape of a lamb lying down. Like, I always call it a lamb cake, but then people who don't know about the lamb cake, they think it's like cake made out of lamb, which is really kind of gross. But anyways, I always do like a theme, and I will put a picture at the end. But this year it was flamingo. No, it was flaming. Okay, this is what it was. FLAMB, like flamingo. So I made it like a flamingo. Well, what I didn't realize was that it was going to look like flam bingo. So everyone's going flam bingo. And then my printer was having difficulties that morning, so I couldn't do my normal props that I do with it. But I don't know, you know, it all tastes the same, and it's just the kids get a kick out of it. And yeah, it was kind of fun. So we did that, and we had Easter here for brunch, and it was a small group. There were only 16 of us. I know people laugh, but you know, that is a small group for my family. And it was kind of wasn't like an outside play day like it was last year, but I took the same as kind of a fun idea with the grandkids. You buy those strawberry sandwich cookies, and I found them at the dollar store. It's a great place. And just take some pre-made frosting and frost like the thin edges and stack 3 together and make like a little 3-sided house. And then I cut some to make like a front facade. And then I got some of the natural color ones and frosted 3 together and made roofs. And then I let them dry it a little bit, and then I put the roofs together and the roofs on the house. So I had those all set, and I bought those little, you can also get these at the dollar store. They're little plastic trays that are about this big, and they just go down like maybe this much. But I glued or frosted the house onto that. So that was all set. Left it out so it was all nice and hard for them for Easter. And then I bought like all sorts of like Smarties and, you know, M&Ms and all like colorful things like that for the kids to take the frosting and glue on. Kind of like, it's like a gingerbread house, but it's an Easter house. And I'm not kidding, they sat and worked on those things for like at least an hour. I mean, it was a great activity, and they really, you know, had fun. And then I really didn't do like traditional baskets for them, because I figured then they took those home and, you know, they were eating them the next day, or until my daughter's like, that's enough, gotta throw those away. But they, you know, instead of like putting a lot of candy in a basket, it gave them an activity, and they really seemed to like that. So anyways, just a tip if you have kids around. Okay, now this gift, Leanna had stitched this several times. This is tied with heartstrings. And in fact, Valerie of Stitching in the Barn got Leanne's stitch of this at StitchCon as the gift exchange. Well, you know, when I was doing this, I just thought bird and heart. I didn't realize it was like a spool with thread coming off. But we had a family member who lost a full-term baby, and I just wanted to stitch something to commemorate that. And so I thought, you know, something that wasn't like too babyish, and just would be something they could have as a little remembrance. So this is the color palette I chose. And I bought this silk ribbon at Stitchville. And I had bought a tan that didn't really show up very well on this fabric. Gotta play with the silk ribbon. It gets kind of out of position. But this is what I was going through my button can for, buttons for this. And at first I was gonna put like his name and birth date on the front, and then I decided instead to make a patch on the back. I've taped it off just for their privacy, but I just put his name, the date they had him, and then I wrote son of, and their two names, and so wanted, so loved, so miss, forever in our hearts. And I added on this little pin Lisa had given me at Christmas time. This is not funny, but I bought a little cross in Stitchville, and do you think I can find that thing now? No. So, but this opens up so I can just, but I just put Wonder Under on the back, and I just pressed it on over the opening. And at first I was going to stitch a patch, and I'm like, oh, you know, not that I won't want to put the time in, but it's going to be on the back. And so I used to do a lot of personalizing on fabric ornaments years ago. So I'm like, well, I'll just write it out instead. But it kind of mimics the shape. I didn't want to show the names for their privacy. But you know, I think of all the people with Mother's Day coming tomorrow. You know, it's wonderful to honor mothers, but there's so many people that it's such a hard day. And I just, you know, think of all the times store clerks say Happy Mother's Day to me as I'm, you know, walking through with good intent, but you know, there's some people that it causes such pain for. So I think we need to be cognizant of that. So anyways, now, so we have the 2 giveaways. Now here's time for a 3rd one. And this is Happy Birthday America. I tried to give this away my last video. This is such a cute one, and it's just the chart. It's not the kit or anything. But I did my finish just like this one is, and it really is one of my favorites. So if you would like a chance at that one, just write in the comments birthday. For the Prairie Schooler Santa is Arctic. The word for American home is home. And the word for Happy Birthday America by Brenda Gervais is birthday. Oh, yeah. It's, I don't know. I have no excuses. But I have one other thing to show you, and then I will put the Stitchville haul at the end. So, for another bride. But, when someone in the family, nieces or my cousin's kids get married, I make them a book of cakes. And it's like some of my favorite cake recipes and my mom's, and I just, you know, add to it and whatever. So this I made for my cousin's daughter, Meg, and they didn't have a traditional wedding cake. They had like all sorts of French pastries that were really yummy. And then I just put something on the back. It's got on the front, and so I'll just put like pictures of the bride and groom. She was a beautiful bride. Her dress was so pretty. And then like pictures from the shower and engagement pictures. The engagement pictures I always grab from like online, you know, if they have them on Facebook or whatever. And then I put some of my recipes, like this cake was so good. Cappuccino fudge cheesecake. My sister, and if there's a funny little story, like I'll include that. So there's some little family facts and jokes. My sister always makes this rum cake, which is so delicious. You just make it in a bundt, and the base is yellow cake that you add stuff to, and then when it's done, you make a syrup out of butter and rum and poke holes in it, sugar. I mean, it's like the bottom part is so dense and sweet and yummy. It's really, really good. But when my niece was little, she was like maybe 6. It was my brother-in-law's birthday, and she's sitting at the table and she goes, and we're not like no one in the family really even swears, which is why this was so funny. But she's like, rum cake, rum cake, rum cake, that beep, rum cake. And we're all just like, oh my gosh, just dying. It was so funny. Yeah, so I have, and then I'll put like pictures of the venue. This eclair tort is a really good one. Like this was from my sister's birthday, so I shaped it like the number of her birthday. But everyone thinks it's like really impressive, and it's like one of the easiest things to make. Here's more of the venue. It was really pretty. It was a barn. And this is my carrot cake recipe I got from this old guy years ago. I didn't tell you it was recipe hour. Cream cheese brownies. If you need a fast and easy dessert, these are really, really good. And you just use a package, like a cheap package cake or brownie mix as your base. So I once had this like pretentious woman at work, you know, comment on how good they were, and I just couldn't resist, but I told her that it was Aldi brownie mix as the base, and the look on her face was like, oh. This was a cherry tort my mom made, and like some of the pictures I tried as the time went on, I tried to like do a nicer picture, but I know it, like my carrot cake I make all the time, and I don't have a picture of it, which is funny. And this is a chocolate mousse cake. It has like a dozen eggs and chocolate and butter, no flour. So I guess it could work for a gluten-free person. But then I'll put like pictures from the wedding and oh, this is a really good cake too. And some of these are based on like cake mixes. This was from the wedding, the bridal table. And yeah. Oh, this was making myself hungry. This was really a good cake. You make like layers of meringue, and then it has dulce de leche in the cream. Oh, and then all the fresh fruit. It's really, really good. And then these are like my lamb cakes that I do. So you can see that was baby lamb. Oh no, this was lamb shade. Can you see the lamb shade? I glued like Cadbury eggs onto it. And then this was the baby lamb. Let's see. We have Lady Baba, Erin, E-R-I-N, Rogers. This was Barack Obama. This was Lamborghini. This was Flambe. Adam Lambert, if any of you watched American Idol. This was Abracadabra. Something like that. I don't know. You get the point. So, yeah, it's just kind of a fun little tradition. These were blueberries we picked up north at our cabin one year. It was very, very bountiful. And this is my recipe, but Leanne made it and her picture looks so nice. I'm like, I stole it. I think she had it on Facebook, and then she saw it in one of the books and she's like, is that my cake? And I'm like, yes. So it was kind of funny. And then this was the venue at night. I made my husband stop as we were driving away, and a couple dancing. And then the other thing I do, I always scan or take a picture of their wedding invitation, and hers was so pretty. She's very artistic, so it came with this little seal and little sprig of something. Almost looks like dill, but I don't think it is. Really, really pretty. And then I'll just flash that so as not to divulge any personal information. But I need to get this to her. But I think it's just kind of a fun thing. I did it first for her sister, and she would have been married, it's going on 12 years. So nowadays there's a lot of different, like, I do it in Shutterfly, and there's things specifically for recipe books, which at the time you just had to work with what was there, and even the app that you use to make them, it's just like world, day and night. So it really is so much easier if you were going to make something similar to do it now. But because I've got all the pages in, each time I make one, then I just make a copy of the previous one, and I delete all the pictures and things that pertain just to them, and then I bring in the new bride's pictures. But even with that, it like you spend a lot of time goofing around with it. But I just think it's a nice remembrance, and has a lot of family cake recipes, and I think pretty much anyone in our family likes to bake, so that works well. All right, what else do I have? I actually wrote down some notes because it's been so long. I really was afraid I would forget half of what I wanted to talk about. Oh, we babysat for the 4 grandkids last weekend, which was oodles of fun. And they're so cute. We were funny story with the 4-year-old. So their main floor, they have like kind of a partially exposed basement. And so their main floor is up a little bit looking down on the yard. And they used to have one of those big Little Tykes playhouse at their old house in the living room, which they had as a giant playroom. And, you know, they're always having play groups and stuff like that. So it was great because kids, you know, they could kind of gate them off and let them go to town while the moms and dads just, you know, talked amongst themselves. So it was a great space. Well, anyways, the Little Tykes house now is outside at their new house, and it's joined by another one. And so my husband and I were looking out the window at it, and we asked the 4-year-old like where it came from, and he looks at so the 4-year-old looks at us real seriously and says, "Bobby, I wish I could answer your question, but I really have no idea." and stuff like that, just, it makes me laugh. So, we had a good time. We spent one night at our house and one night at their house, and, you know, there's just nothing like it, but, you know, trying, like, they had piano lessons on Sunday morning, and then one of them had a basketball camp, and, so, like, driving a van that you're not familiar with, and it's relatively new. I liked it better when they had their old one because I didn't feel like so worried about driving it. But other than not being able to figure out the windshield wipers, it all went pretty well. And you know, those are, I feel like, you know, we're on the verge with the 9-year-old of not having too many years where she's excited to come and be with us. And you know, it's just like I look at the relationship I had with my grandparents and my parents had with my kids and my husband's parents, and it's just like you can make such an influence on a kid. And it was so fun to watch then my parents interact with my kids as adults. And I always remember my dad, when my son was little, he'd always say, "I hope I live long enough to see what that kid turns out to be," because he was always like such a active child. And well, he did, so that was fun, and he was very proud of him. Well, anyways, we're well over an hour, but thank you for sticking with me. And I feel like I will try to be back with just a short recap video, maybe towards the end of the week, next week. So if you enter, please check back, because I would like to get those out and get them to you, and so you can do some patriotic stitching as well. So I hope everyone's doing well. Continue to fill the world with love, and I'll see you soon. I think I'm gonna open the windows and clean my oven so that I don't have another fire, well, it wasn't a fire, but just smoky episode. And yeah, and get that rabbit finished up. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. And now you can watch my purchases at Stitchville. Bye. While I was at Stitchville, I picked up some fabrics to add to my stash. This is and these are all 36 count, so I'm not going to repeat that. But this is a piece of Picture This Plus title. And I don't know if the color's really showing up true, but it's a really beautiful aqua, well, not even teal, but soft aqua with a little bit darker mixed in. Can't wait to use that on something. And this is a nice generic piece of Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. I haven't stitched on their fabric before, so I'm anxious to try it out. It just has very subtle, I don't know if you can see it, but very subtle, like little bits of darker modeling. And then this is, I don't know who the manufacturer is, but it's SPP Pie Crust. And I'm hoping to use this for something special I have in mind. Kind of has a little bit of, you know, grungy watermarked look to it, kind of ancient looking. And then I was thrilled, this, I might be sorry I bought this, but I love Weeks Red Pear so much. I stitched hard on it this last year and just loved it. And I really don't think the color is showing up. It's more of a melon shade than a true red. And I'm just thrilled to be able to have a chunk of this. Then I just picked up a couple pieces of various color wools to use for some wool applique. And kind of springy shades. I did buy some silk ribbon. I want to use in a finish. Aren't those beautiful shades? Let's see. It's Fawn and Blue Spruce Light. I think they'll just be beautiful together. And then I picked up 2 Classic Colorworks that I think will be really pretty. Tropical Paradise and Bunny Honey. Bunny Honey, but I think the colors will be beautiful together. I have used a little bit of Valdani floss, and I thought these 2 were really, really pretty. They're softly variegated. I'll show them in a second. I'm just reading the colors. Bronze and silver foam. I might try the silver foam for snow in a piece, but the brown colored one I thought would make a beautiful roof. And even the other one, it has, you know, shades of white and beige and silver and little green. So I'm having a problem with snow showing up on one piece I've been stitching on, and I think I'm going to try this variegated thread. And then just, I got my missing grapevine and Havana. I always pick up Havana when I see it. And for Patriotic stitching coming up, Chesapeake Bay and some Peapod. And then I bought just some fresh snow, Tudor silk. I thought, you know, when you're taxed with 1/1 stitching, I heard this is delightful. So I thought, well, I'll buy a little skein of it and see how it goes. And then I just got some embellishing pieces. Well, this is the chart I went into Stitchville for. It was really the only one on my list, but you know how that goes. So this is The Rabbit and the Rose by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And this was new to market this year. And I really might even start this before Easter. This probably won't air till after Easter, but I just, when I've seen people stitching this, I just love this one. And then we've got some patriotic things. You know, the models you see always suck you in. So this is Liberty House by Brenda Gervais. And I've seen a lot of people stitch this, and it's just such a pretty classic design. So I might do that this year. And this one too. Jesse and me, you know, now that I'm done with my Wisconsin cabin, this looks much easier, and I don't know, I'm sure there's a little 1/1, but I'm starting to make peace with that. And this really cute JBW Designs French Country flower basket. I can just see that with a variegated floss. Just will be a cute little spring stitch or even summer. And this guy, I just could not resist. This is from the Country Spirits collection by Homespun Elegance, and it's delivering yummy goodness. He is just too cute. I don't know if I'll write yum on mine, but I like them. And then this one, I sure hope I don't have it, but if I do, I'll just use it as a giveaway. But some of the Prairie Schooler charts that I've always wanted, when I see them in cardstock, you know, because they're original, I tend to pick them up. And so then when I was at the register, they had, I don't know which one of these 3 bunnies, but they had just, you know, done and on a piece of wool, pinked, just like they're shown in the model. And they are so darn cute. I'm like, I have to stitch those. They're just all different cute designs. And did I say signs of spring? Can't remember if I did or not. But yeah, I'll get to those sometimes. And you know, Prairie Schoolers definitely comfort stitching.